Alright guys, here's how you can start a zero risk passive income real estate business for less than $20 per month. Now usually when people say passive income, it's never truly a passive way to make money, and it's usually a scam. Now with this particular strategy, you have the ability to actually put very minimal work in for less than 30 days and receive generous royalties or commissions for literally years. Guys, I will give you every resource, link, step by step, and I promise there is not a single upsell in this video. No courses, mentorship, sales funnels, etc. Just pay attention and watch all the way through. And yes, you can do this at any age. Now, if you already know what wholesaling is, just watch me explain. Now, there's two sides to a real estate wholesale transaction: the acquiring of the home and the disposing of the home. Wholesalers essentially act as the middleman between someone who wants to sell their home and someone who wants to buy a home. That person who wants to buy a home is usually a cash buyer investor. So if Pegasus wants to sell her home for $100,000 and John, the investor, is willing to pay $120,000 because he likes the area and that particular home, John pays $120,000. Pegasus gets her $100,000 like she originally wanted, and John pays you the remaining $20,000 for finding the home for him. Remember, John is constantly looking to buy homes for cash. He's even willing to pay $20,000 to do so. That is exactly what wholesaling is. Now, the key to generating passive income is finding more Johns, aka cash buyer investors. Now, finding a cash buyer is not as hard as you truly think. In fact, there are lists of cash buyers' names, phone numbers in the millions, and we are even willing to provide these lists to you for free. To actually acquire your key to passive income, you simply call the numbers listed, go through our script, and boom, you have a vetted cash buyer. You can then submit these cash buyers to the link down below, and from there we will do everything beyond that point, which is what makes this passive and automated. We will then distribute that buyer to our partners. We're going to find properties ourselves, we're going to acquire properties for that buyer, and every time a transaction is completed with that buyer that you generated, you'll receive a percentage commission for connecting us to them. We're going to go more in depth on the actual strategy, but I'm not going to beat around the bush when it comes to the numbers. The first transaction that you complete, you'll receive 20% of the assignment fee. Every other transaction after that with that buyer, you'll receive a 5% royalty. Now, from my experience and the example above, the average wholesale fee is right around $20,000. Remember, the commission is based off the sale price of the home and how much the investor is paying. So we've done deals as low as $5,000, and we've done deals as high as $100,000. If we take half our average and be conservative, 20% of $10,000 is $2,000 for making a phone call and submitting some info. Guys, this strategy is extremely easy. Alright guys, so let's actually get into the steps. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to the link down below and fill out your info so we can send you some cash buyer data so that you have something to call. The data will include cash buyer names, phone numbers, emails, and like I said, we will not charge you anything for this. We will review your form and get the data ready to send over. In the meantime, you need to get an open phone account. If you want to make single calls at a time, I recommend using open phone instead of your daily phone or phone number. That way you can separate your business, and you can also make calls from your computer, which makes life a lot easier. If you click the link down below, you'll actually get a $20 credit, and it's like less than $20 per month after that, so that's where the less than $20 per month comes from. Once you have your data and your open phone account set up, you'll need to make sure you turn on auto record calls. This is because we require the recording of your call when you speak to buyers if you're going to be submitting leads. Now, once you've submitted your info requesting data and you've set up your open phone, you can then start entering buyers' phone numbers and start calling the script that you see here. You can access the script with the link down below, but let's quickly go through it. I have it set up right here. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is introduce yourself. You can say that you're with a company or not, and then you just want to say that you got their phone number a few months back from a partner, so that way they kind of have an idea of how you're getting a hold of them. Usually it says what state they're in, so you can mention the state. If it doesn't mention the state, you can just say, are you still buying? If they say yes, you obviously want to ask where they're buying, and I have a bunch of questions listed here. You want to make sure you get as much information as humanly possible. I'm not going to go too in depth in this video. We're just going to briefly go through it. But this last part is super important. You want to make sure that you really get the buyer to understand why you're asking these questions, and you really want to vet them. So this is the way that you're going to do it. And I'm going to read this one out. If you're a serious buyer and I don't want to waste your time, this is why we try to get as detailed criteria as possible. I'm confident in our team's ability to bring you a deal that fits and makes sense number-wise. Obviously, if it doesn't make sense, we don't want to send it to you, but can you send any other proof of transactions or proof of funds so that our team can allocate some time to find you the perfect property? Now guys, the reason why we go through that script and it's laid out that way is because we want people to actually vet these buyers, and we want to know that they're serious. So if we bring a deal to them, they will 100% purchase that property. It's very important that we vet them correctly. And if you don't vet them correctly, we're going to have to do it, and it just causes issues. So you need to learn how to master that script, especially that last part, and really get good at speaking to cash buyers over the phone. All right, guys, once you master that script and you start generating leads, you're going to want to submit them. Go to the link down below. Once again, I'll have it all labeled, and submit the buyer along with your recorded call. Send any text messages, emails, etc., and boom, you just acquired your first key to passive income. I wanted to actually give a more detailed explanation so you guys fully understand what's going to happen once you generate that cash buyer lead. So what we're going to do is we're going to advertise these buyers to our partners and other wholesalers. We're going to handle everything. We're going to handle finding the deals, getting deals under contract, signed, negotiations, title companies, attorneys, the entire transaction process, all the way down to the closing. When a deal is closed, we do not get paid unless you do. The money is distributed by the title company. And guys, seriously, all you have to do is make an hour worth of calls a day to generate consistent leads. Every vetted buyer will get advertised accordingly, and our goal is to find a home for every active buyer in our system. Remember, you need to stick to the script and vet them properly. If a property fits the buyer's criteria, he should 100% buy that property. Obviously, some are going to slip through, but I just wanted to clear that up for you guys just so everyone is on the same page. Now, every time a status is updated involving your buyer, you'll receive an email notification. You'll also receive a weekly report. So if we go under contract with one of your buyers, you're going to get a notification that keeps you in the loop. Now, once you get the hang of it, the goal here is to acquire as many cash buyers as you can. Once again, the best part about this is the lifetime value of a buyer lead if it's vetted correctly. Buyer and wholesaler relationships can last literally years if nurtured correctly, and that's what our company is here to do. Not only will we nurture your relationships that you've created with these buyers, but we will actively hunt for properties. Now remember, like any skill, it's going to take time for you to get comfortable talking to somebody over the phone. But shoot for a goal for how many buyers that you want to generate per week. As I'm filming this video, we just got a deal under contract with a cash buyer. Our assignment fee / profit is going to be $45,000. This buyer came from the same list that we are willing to give away 100% for free. Meaning if you would have called him, your commission on this deal would have been $9,000. Guys, this business is too lucrative to pass up. It doesn't require much time because all you're doing is calling the buyers, and we handle everything from there on. You can even outsource this work to cold callers, but we can talk about that in a later video. Anyway, all the links and step-by-step guide is free and in the description down below. If you stay to the end, you probably get mad pussy